So most business owners think they need perfect personal credit or big profits to get $100K in business funding. But guess what? That's not true. You can honestly build true business credit fast. EIN-only, which means no personal guarantee, but only if you set up your company the way lenders expect to see it to fund you. And if you don't do this right, you're going to get nothing but denials. I'm Brittany Calloway, and I provide insights around credit, business, and finance to help business owners turn credit into capital and capital into freedom. So today I'm going to show you why business credit matters, how to make your company instantly more lendable, and the exact starter accounts that report to business bureaus so you can move from denied to approved without trying your personal assets to the business. But the moment your company looks legit on paper, you're going to get consistent identity, real presence, clean compliance, and the doors are going to open. Most people have it backwards and chase cards. We build the profile first, then the approvals are going to chase you. One quick story too. A startup founder came to us with decent revenue but zero business credit. Lenders pulled the business file and saw nothing. We fixed the foundation in literally less than a week. Professional email, domain, business line, 411 directory, matching address everywhere, website, and live bank accounts were open to build the relationships. Then we added 3 EIN-only trade lines that report to the business bureaus. In 60 days, vendors were posting. The file was visible. It had a paydex score, and we leveled to higher limit accounts without a personal guarantee. Same company, new credibility. Well, that's great for them, but you guys might be thinking, well, what if my address or business name doesn't match everywhere? Don't worry, we'll clean it. Consistency is king. Even if street versus street can trigger pending reviews and lower limits or even worse denials, we're here to fix it and do an audit to make sure it's the same across the board. Well, what if a lender asks for my social security number? Some will for identity verification only, but not as a personal guarantee. We're focused on EIN-only approvals in the beginning, so don't panic if they actually want to verify you as an owner though too. Well, Britt, what if I'm brand new? Perfect. A clean, well-structured day one company can build business credit much faster than some of the messier older ones. So don't let that be a deterrent to starting now. These are the ways to make your company ready for approvals. So number 1, your company name. You have to make sure you're avoiding these high-risk terms in the legal name. Use neutral umbrellas like enterprises or solutions at the end. That way we don't want to have any high risks that are not going to get you the funding that you want. These are considered high risk if you do trucking, real estate, right? Because they see these as banks don't really always want to lend to those because they know those are high risk companies and industries. Number 2, get the EIN from irs.gov. And you want to make sure your entity is in good standing with the Secretary of State for your state that you live in. Number 3, get the business address. No P.O. boxes, and make it match exactly everywhere. IRS, banking, bureaus, 411 directory, make it match across the board. Number 4, make sure you get a professional email plus the domain and a website. So your email should be brittany@andthecompanyname.com versus brittany@gmail.com. Banks want to see that this is a credible and professional email address. Number 5, the business phone number. Make sure you can get an 888 number or a local one, but you also want to make sure you list it in the 411 directory. Number 6, a business bank account. Even if you put $50 in the business and the savings, you just want to make sure you're actually getting those products so you're looking more credible with the bank. Number 7, get a DUNS number, Dun & Bradstreet. So when a creditor looks you up, they can instantly see a real business with matching data. You can also grab my Operate Like a Pro business credit card checklist at thefundinglounge.com, where utilization targets, paydown timing, and downgrade paths are all in the one place to help you explain this to you from start to finish. So just remember, our goal is to get cards to start reporting to our business credit profile so we can get larger funding limits down the road. So those things that I mentioned before, those EIN-only trade lines are a perfect foundation. So some of the cards that also do EIN-only are 1, the 7-Eleven fleet card. They might only ask for verification for the social security number, but we love this card because it's fuel, it's convenience, it's commonly reported to Dun & Bradstreet, Experian business, and Equifax business. So a great card to have. The requirements is that your entity just has to be in good standing, have an EIN, a matching address, business bank account, and basic verification. You can even use it just for weekly, for small purchases, and make sure you want to pay it off early to build that positive payment history. Remember, the paydex score loves early payments. The second card that I love for people to start out with that's also EIN only is Credit Strong. So it's an installment builder. It functions like a reverse loan. You pay monthly and it reports as an installment account and builds a cash reserve that's released to you back at the end of the term. It looks great to lenders because it shows you can manage a fixed payment over time. Number 3, Creative CEO. That's an EIN-only vendor as well. It's ideal for contractors, tool supplies, office needs. You basically make the purchases on a net 30 and you go ahead and make sure you want to pay those back to early as possible once you get the merchandise. So this is going to report to the business bureaus as well. Light verification again, and identity has to match across the board too as well. So make sure, again, pro tip, you're paying before the due date on these net 30 accounts to rack up strong bureau data. I also want you to open 2 to 3 vendors and transact with them in the first 7 to 10 days, and make sure you pay in the first 10 to 15 days so we get those payments reported early, and that business history, positive business history, is going to report now to the credit bureaus. So for the vendors that we're trying to go after the higher limits, after you have a 60 to 90 day profile and you have an actual score across those different bureaus, now it's time to go for those bigger banks. We can go for Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, right? To now start to build ones that are not just EIN, but you are going to have to personally guarantee those. But we have a whole foundation on how to do just EIN only. Some other things to note. Keep your utilization low, right, while you're doing this, and make sure you're still paying off those cards, anything you buy on a net 30 account, early. And even if you pay, go back and call them to confirm that they received payment. I've had people miss this, right? And what you don't want is for a net 30 account vendor to report late to your business profile. That is one of the hardest things to fix. So take these net 30 accounts more seriously even than your personal credit cards and paying those on time. So that's why I say pay them early, because that's also what's going to be great to boost your score. If you make one change, just anywhere, it has to be done everywhere. So even if you update the address, the phone number, right, it has to be updated across all the different bureaus, right, and all the different bank accounts, EIN, everything, in order to stay relevant when you apply for the next card. So try not to change when you're doing this in this process. The best thing you can do is also document everything. Keep all the approvals, emails, invoices, and statements for your records. Remember, here's the truth. Lenders are not guessing. They're checking. When your company's identity is consistent, your vendors are going to report and your payments are going to be early. You can build business credit fast. EIN only, no personal guarantee. So this week, your action steps are: finish your fundability foundation, right? Email, website, phone number, 411. Open that 7-Eleven fleet card, Credit Strong business card, and even CEO Creative. And then make those 3 small purchases, right, on all of those cards, and pay them early, and repeat that the next cycle. And watch how you actually get a paydex score so that we can now get a big real profile to go for those larger 100K limits. And watch this next video where I guide you through the top 3 business credit cards that I love and you need to have in your portfolio as you continue to build to that $1 million in business credit. I'll see you there.